Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 9 of my SolitaryMini Let's Play, and yeah, things are rolling pretty good. About 9 episodes in a month. I'm pretty happy with that. Basically, today I want to go over this guy. This is the Railgun from RotaryCraft, and this thing is so cool. Seriously, this thing is really cool, and I was having some fun playing around with it in creative mode, and I thought I'd show you guys what I was up to. First, let me check my sound. Okay. This thing gets crazy loud. Well, actually, it's not really the railgun itself that's loud. It's the way I power it. But let's look inside this thing. Let's turn off NEI. For info on the railgun. So this is basically a defense weapon, and it automatically targets mobs, and it will shoot projectiles at them that you fill up within its inventory. Basically, the range that it has is, I think, dependent on how much power you give it. Maybe not. It requires more torque per mass that you put in it. So the larger the shells you put in here, the more torque you're going to need to power it. But if you put like a small one in here, you're not going to need a whole lot. In fact, we can kind of lightly experiment with this let's try it over here, to a certain extent that we need to actually just, we know that we need a certain amount of power. Well, we don't. Actually, no, that's still too much power. What am I thinking? Yeah, you do need a certain amount of power to give it, to make it run at least one time. And I think that it's not enough for what I have. But you can give it, if you give it something that's really fast, you know, a lot of speed on some sort of engine, you should be able to get it to shoot at least the lower grade ammunition. If we look that up. Railgun. Actually, what are these rails from? Oh, MFR. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the railgun. These are all the ammunitions, and they come in different varieties of kilograms. They go from 1 kilogram all the way up to, and a very, very heavy 32,000 kilograms. So, lots of different settings here you can kind of play around with. These guys, the 1 kilogram, they don't exactly do a lot of damage to mobs, but you can probably make them very easily. And then these things are just devastating, and they will one-shot pretty much everything, and they'll leave a big crater wherever they hit, so they're pretty cool. I don't know if you can get away with just giving it, because 4 megawatts is actually quite a bit of energy. If we look up the... Let's look up the handbook. What do we want to replace? How about you? Within the handbook, if you look at the engines and power supply, not a lot of things are producing. This is producing 4 kilowatts. This is producing 16 kilowatts, 65, 131, 262. This is producing 552. The microturbine, just over 2 megawatts, which is 2.5. And what were we just saying? This guy needs how much? Okay, so this would need twice the power of a microturbine to fire at a minimum, because the microturbines don't have a lot of torque on them. In fact, I think they're one of the lowest in terms of torque for what you put into them anyways. Yeah, it's only 16 nanometers of torque, but it spins really fast, so it's got a lot of power. Of course, the gas turbine being the most powerful engine, this is definitely going to power it. It's got enough power, it's got enough torque to throw most of the stuff, but we're going to have to use actually 2 of them to do what we need to do here. But we could use the microturbine if we wanted to, which would be this guy right here. So the little microturbine, the red being what it points to. Actually, looking at the railgun, and we'll use this tunnel here in a second. Looking at the railgun, it receives power from the bottom. So to give it the power, we're going to need to go with this. So we go 1 and 2, and then clear that, and then we just power it from the below. So we're going to need some bevel gears, and then we want blue to be the output, and we want, it doesn't really matter. So like right here, we can hook up the microturbine to this, and then it would not give enough power because it's not going to give enough power. So we would actually need a way to combine the power of the two, and there's actually something for that. So we can get that. Is it the shaft junction? Is that what I want? I think it is. I think it is. It is. Okay. So this one we want to turn it. Yes, like this. Okay. So then we would hook up our microturbines. Like this, and then we would give them jet fuel, because that is the type of fuel that they receive. And it's going to make all sorts of clicking and then not work. So you can see it doesn't have nearly enough power. There's a bunch of different settings for this. We can sort of mess with them a little bit. If I can get at it. See if I can get to it. Nope. This thing's really odd about not wanting to let me access its power supply. Or its GUI. I don't know why that is. So this is only giving it maybe an eighth of the power by itself. So this just one guy is definitely not enough. These things are touchy. I'm not really sure exactly how the shaft junction works, other than it does sometimes. It is a really confusing piece of technology, and I don't always know how it's going to react. Sometimes it wants to work, sometimes it doesn't want anything to do with me, and it's always tough trying to guess which way it's going to react at any given time. Well, red is output, so that does nothing. That means these two need to be in green boxes for the input. And I can't seem to set that up, no matter which way I turn it. Right? Red is definitely output. So these two would both need to be in the red. Oh, there it went. There it goes. But again, it doesn't seem to want to work. They need to be going at the same speed, or else it doesn't really do anything. It is sending apparently a certain amount of power, but it's definitely not enough to run this, which is kind of too bad. But we're going to use the same tactic here and actually get it to work this time by going all the way down here and setting up a little system that I set up earlier. So we want a creative tank, and we're gonna put this right here and then fill it up. So the creative portable tank is from thermal expansion. If you put a liquid in it, it's gonna always have that liquid, and you can pull it out as much as you want, which is really nice when you're experimenting with different things. And so we want to go right, let's do right here. This is going to be where it eventually will change. So we're going to need bevel. And then this is going to go, let's go ahead and switch that over. This is going to go right here, I think. Then bevel gears. Or do I want to do that like that? Maybe I want to do it like this. Nope, nope, I do want to go up one. I do. All right, bevel gears go here, with the output being the blue side, and that being the input side. That's fine, actually. And then we do need the shaft junction. So like we had up above, we're going to have a shaft junction, and this is going to have to change its mode. I believe red is the output, so we need something like that. Okay, cool. And instead of using the microturbine, we're going to go ahead and use the gas turbine, which is the step up from it. It's a lot more powerful. In fact, it's the most powerful engine in vanilla RotaryCraft. Though if you have, I don't actually know if the other ones are worth it. From the other mods, because you can get different ones based on which mods you have. Oh boy, and it makes a bunch of noise. Then we're going to use a bedrock shaft and go all the way up. Okay, here we go. And then all we do is you put the railgun on top, and it should be powered. Ta-da! The bedrock shafts just transmit the power straight up, and this lets me get away from all that noise that's down there. So this is what I usually do to set up the railgun in in a decent area. The next thing we can do is give it the ammo, and for that I use a creative strongbox. So this is very similar to the creative tank, in that if you give it an item, it will just continue to output that item infinitely. So let's get the railgun ammo. There it is. We'll get the highest grade. This is the 32, because why settle for anything less? And then we put it right on top. It won't shoot. It's very close at times to shooting itself, but in this situation it shouldn't. Okay, so we put this here, and we put this here, and it will begin to, well, once we give it a wrench. And I think we need a pneumatic servo. Yep. There is already a pneumatic servo installed. Okay, thanks. Nope, we want to just turn it on all the time. And it will go ahead and start filling the railgun up. Sweet. Okay, so this is basically good to go. If I throw something in front of it, it should target it and try to kill it. As long as it can hit it. It can't hit anything that's too close to it. Like if it's over here, I don't think it can hit it because it's too high up. I think it can if you wrench it to make it go upside down. Like you can have it sit like this. You got to apply the power a different way though. And I think it can hit things that are down low. Otherwise, it can hit stuff that's pretty far away. So let's get a creeper, because that won't suddenly burn up in the sunlight. I do want to do times that day again, and then we'll turn it on at night too, so we can see how that works. So if I put this here, yeah, that's what happens. Oh my, I made a mess again. Okay. So that's the railgun. Yep. Time to go home, everybody. Basically, the railgun is just death. It is death in machine form. This thing, if you want to defend your base, this is the way to do it. There's no doubt that this machine is just going to go ahead and wreck pretty much everything that's in its range. I wish there was a way, and I don't know if there is a way, so don't quote me on this, but I kind of wish there was a way to control it further. In other words, like, be able to tell it to target certain types of players, but I don't think there is. There may be something in here. I'm not sure. A lot of different little items in here. TNT cannon targeting aid. IO goggles. Cannon key. Ethanol minecart. Jetpack. Steel armor. Steel boots. Spring boots. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Yeah, this is how you make the railgun ammunition. All the different varieties. So that's 4,000. That's 8,000. That's 16,000, and then that is the 32,000. That's what the bedrock ingots. So yeah, definitely not cheap to make these guys, and they stack in sets of 16. If we go ahead and flip it over to, this is gonna make a mess. Time set night. We can go ahead and watch this thing pretty well. Can you do midnight? Time set. I guess not. I know you can in any eye. inventory. Let's go to cheat mode. And we want to time. No, we want to do that from here to set time to midnight. You can see it is already spinning up. It is taking aim. And it is going to start blowing up everything in its path. And probably crash my game because of all the entities. Look at that. That is intense. Oh yeah, it's starting to lag. Okay, enough. Oh, I made it worse. Oh man. Now, to be fair, this stuff is sandstone, so it breaks really easily. But if you're not careful with this thing and you leave it on by your base and there are mobs spawning around, you're gonna lose your base. This thing will chew through pretty much anything if you have it set on the max settings. So yeah, it's pretty intense. Some of the other stuff I did mess with were the, let's jump over to, what am I even? Weird. Oh, because I was in creative mode plus. I was trying to figure out what was going on there. Oh, hi. Okay. Oh, they're still aggroed on me. That's cool. There's nothing. I also tried out the heat ray and the freeze gun, and those were pretty interesting, although maybe not as useful as the railgun is. But we could fill this thing with a smaller amount of firepower and let it do its thing still. So if we look up railgun, let's look at the smallest grade ammunition. So pull this out. I think I may have to break it. Probably gotta break it. Yep. And then put in the... Okay, I got it. And then put on this guy again. I want to make sure I back away. The 1K, you can see that it's hitting, it's dealing damage. It's not dealing that much damage overall. There are so many entities lying around now. Really slowing my game down. I just love all the fire particles as they kind of come up. Yeah, so it finally killed it. So it might be doing maybe 1 heart of damage. Not necessarily that much, but if that's understandable given that it doesn't take a whole lot to make that. I think looking at this again, this takes, yeah, like three steel ingots, which is basically 3 iron. Not a whole lot to make that. You get 3 rounds, so not too bad. But I wouldn't use this necessarily as a defense weapon. I would use maybe a couple of steps up. Enough so that you can kill mobs without breaking blocks. Would be pretty handy. So maybe in the future we'll build that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to do in creative mode. So we'll jump over to my survival world. We'll talk about something else. We won't make this yet because we don't have a way to power it. But yeah, I'll meet you guys over there. Do you see what I see? I'm pretty sure I see a stronghold over there, although I'm not totally sure. Kinda looks like it. Don't know what else it could be if it isn't a stronghold. But yeah, on my normal world, I'm over by my pump, and you can see all of the stone that my pump has dug up, or has replaced the lava with. So lots and lots and lots of stone sitting around here. Pretty nifty. Lots of pigment spawning on it too. Definitely using up a lot of lava to run the bedrock breaker, to run the extractor, to do other things around the base. So expectantly using up quite a bit of lava. But it'll still be quite some time before I actually need to move it, so not too bad. I'm definitely glad that I decided to go lava power because it's been very, very handy. I actually came into the nether looking for gravel. I was going to see if there was an easy way to get a bunch of gravel without mining out my own beaches, which I guess I could do anyways if I really wanted to. But the main reason I was looking in here was just because I don't care about how this place looks. I tend to not dig out my own world because it ends up looking pretty ugly. So I try to keep the surrounding landscape pretty much the same. But I do need gravel because I got some awesome advice from some people who suggested I use the extra utilities items, the extra utilities blocks for building materials, and they've got some really cool stuff. Oh, I gotta get this guy. Ha! Look at that. Look at that not deal damage. Just look. Oh, I'm already back at full health. Ha! 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 Take it. I actually do have some extra armor on. I've got the bedrock leggings now, which have fire protection 4, so I can... Oh, I need to change my mode. I jumped over and I didn't change. Inventory disabled. Oh, I don't want disabled. I just want recipe mode. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Cool. And then, yeah. So, Extra Utilities has a lot of cool stuff, and we'll look at that if we get back. If we get back. We may be trapped here forever. And it's really cool. The number of blocks that it has, I definitely underestimated at first. I didn't think it had as many building blocks as basically I thought it did. But it's got essentially planks and stone brick of every color, or every major like wool color in the game. So yeah, who cares about clay, hardened clay, when you have every color of those things? So it's pretty cool. We'll probably use that for most of the building, and then there's a lot of other things, like some gravel roads, which is actually what I'm getting the gravel for, and some border stones and some other stuff that have really cool connected textures that I'd like to explore. And I was messing around with them in creative mode. I liked how they looked. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is definitely another stronghold. Okay, okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Yeah, we'll definitely probably use those blocks coming up. What are these? Burning blossom. Lone fire blossom. Oh my gosh, it burned me. I don't know what I expected. Oh, you can turn it into orange dye. Good, actually. I'm gonna need that. So let me grab some of this. Ow, 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 ow. All right, and then grab some nether quartz while I'm here. There's a Extra Utilities has some burnt quartz, but I don't think it looks that great. So I probably won't use that. But I do need some nether quartz, because the more applied energistic stuff I do, the more I'm going to need. I usually go through quite a bit of it. There's a hole there. Probably don't want to jump down there, though. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to find any gravel. I may just have to do some boring machine stuff, which will be pretty boring, but it will give me the gravel I need. And also some dirt. I actually do need some dirt, too. So probably this time when I hook it up, I won't hook up the trash can like I've done in the past. I really need feather falling. Oh, can I make that? I can make that, right? I'm pretty sure I can make that. It's not that far. I mean, it's far, but it's not that far. Wow, that did a whole 1 heart. Okay. You have no power here. Oh man. Yeah, we'll go back here in a second and look over some things. Oh, sweet. I need these guys. I need these guys. I need these guys. I need all of these guys. We need all of these guys. These guys drop good stuff. good, 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 good stuff. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, good. Oh, there's another one. Yes. Where are you? Good. Lots of magma cream. Do want. Hopefully none of these blazes jump down and see me before I come up to see them. The bedrock stuff is the best. Oh my god. This stuff is so good. It's so good. Wow, this rotten flesh is making a mess. No gravel. Alright. Well, I'm going to head back and we'll look around the base for a little bit before we wrap up the episode. Check it out. So I've got all 3 of my wither skeleton heads already thanks to that looting sword. So pretty cool. For the base, and I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. In terms of using the extra utilities blocks, I've got these guys are the edge stone bricks. They do have a connected texture so that they make a different design when they're connected with each other. And these guys as well, the gravel road, also has a different looking texture depending on how many blocks are attached to it. So it's kind of like a multi-block structure. I'm thinking about making my roads out of this, but I'm not sure. It's kind of a grayish. I don't want too much gray. And then the other thing that I wanted to experiment with is the... let's grab some. Are these stone bricks and the paintbrush. So you can paint them into different colors. So I can make these into black, or I can make them white if I've got some white on me. I do. And once you've got a color, you can always make that color with the paintbrush. And since I did get some orange dye, well, I got those flowers. Where did I put them? There's one. Let me craft this into some orange dye, and then if you do this, so you surround stone brick with a dye, and then you put the paintbrush on the bottom, you can create that color. And once you've created the color, you can right-click it with the paintbrush, and now you can always paint blocks that color. It's a little slow to update, but when it does, it seems to work pretty well. And then the same thing you can do with the wood planks. I did some, I think, black up here. So these guys are black, and you can also paint them white. And now that I have orange, I can paint them orange. And yeah, lots of different options. I don't know how I feel about the plank colors. I'm going to have to try a bunch and see what they look like. This looks really ugly, I think. But yeah, definitely experiment with some of these. And then, like I said, I need to get the gravel to make the gravel roads. And these guys are pretty easy to make, but there's a bunch of other ones that I definitely need more materials to make. Especially gravel, because gravel I can turn into sand. And I do feel like I need sand a lot, because you can either grind it or you can pulverize gravel into sand. And with the sand, you can create sandy glass. And if you look up sandy glass, or sandy, there it is. Sandy glass from extra utilities, 2 glass and 2 sand equals sandy glass. And then you can use this, you can smelt it into thickened glass, which looks really cool. Another one with connected textures. And then you can use this, I believe, to make all sorts of different glass styles, including obsidian glass and the dark glass, which doesn't let light through. These look really nice, and you can use it as regular glass for a bunch of recipes too. Whatever. But yeah, I'd really like to use these, but I'm definitely going to need to get my boring machine up and running, collect a bunch of gravel, and basically dig out a whole bunch. So we'll probably do that next time. In the meantime, I'm interested to hear your guys' ideas for base construction. I cleared out a bunch of land over here, so I'm thinking about putting stuff here, I want like a lot of buildings and then roads between them for different farms and such. So we'll see. I got a bunch of sugar canes too. And there's a lot of gravel out there, but it's kind of a pain to pick up. Yeah, so that's about it for me today. Thank you for watching, and until next time then.